Village's Vitality listeners, I've got some good news for you. If you're listening via our Buzzsprout feed, you should see a fan mail button. You can ask questions or leave me comments as a text, or in our new feature, you can send it as a voicemail. If you'd like a response, make sure you leave your name, email address, and cell phone number.
Welcome to Season 8 of Village's Vitality Life, Seniors Life Unscripted. In this new season, we talk to leaders of clubs and interesting folks who live in and around the villages. We also talk to people who have information vital to seniors. You will get perspectives of what is happening in and around the villages, Florida. In addition, in this new season, we will add more information for all seniors. We are a listener-supported podcast.
This is Mike Roth and Bill Paddock, and I'm back with Bill on Village's Vitality, Senior Life Unscripted. Today, Bill and I are totally unscripted, and Bill's having a lot of fun being unscripted, making a lot of faces. And the reason I asked Bill to come back is I wanted our listeners to hear a lot of Bill doing some different voices. I know we have a lot of folks here in the villages, in the improv community, and one of the most important things you can do in an improv, besides making faces, really helps too, but having a different voice. And we don't spend enough time on learning how to have different voices. So I asked Bill to come back, share some voices, and we'll share a couple of clips of some short, less than 2-minute skits that Bill's put together using some of these voices. So Bill, first, how old were you when you discovered that you like to do voices?
I'd have to say, I don't know if I could pinpoint the exact age, Mike. First of all, I want to thank you for having me back. But I can't pinpoint the exact age, but I know it was very young because I was watching cartoons. As I had said, it's, and our other interview is Mel Blanc in the cartoons, and I would find them so hilarious.
I know we have a lot of folks here in the villages, in the improv community, and one of the most important things you can do in an improv, besides making faces, that really helps too.
Try to take up some time.
Okay. But having a different voice. We don't spend enough time on learning how to have different voices. So I asked Bill to come back, share some voices, and we'll share a couple of clips of some short, less than 2-minute skits that Bill's put together using some of these voices. So Bill, first, how old were you when you discovered that you like to do voices?
I'd have to say, I don't know if I could pinpoint the exact age, Mike. First of all, I want to thank you for having me back. But I can't pinpoint the exact age, but I know it was very young because I was watching cartoons. Because as I had said, it's, and our other interview is Mel Blanc in the cartoons, and I would find them so hilarious or so funny. And I found out that Mel Blanc did all the voices, or the majority of them. I would just try to mimic the different voices. And as my life progressed, and when I went to movies with my brother and sister, we'd see a movie that was just, we thought was very funny, and we would try to mimic different parts of it, trying to reenact that comedic part of it.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, he was hunting. My father was. But that's progressing forward, though, like I had touched on that last interview, but Peter Sellers, I just thought was phenomenal. And we saw Pink Panther Strikes Again would be a good example.
Yes.
And we would hear this, and you're watching the movie, and I don't know for the audience or anybody who has seen it or has not seen it to reminisce a little bit. They're talking about solving this crime, and the one inspector's asking about a clue and wishes they had more information. And Clouseau, played by Peter Sellers, he says, yes, a clue. And the inspector, of course, you don't understand what he's saying because he's saying it in such a messed up French accent. And they're all going, what's a clue? And he pulls his brochure out of his pocket. And he goes, yeah. Then they understand he means brochure, clue. Right. But just mimicking different things from the movies that you'd see, trying to recreate that comedy. And Peter Sellers like that, even though he was English, doing a French distorted accent.
Terribly distorted.
Oh, it was just, we just thought it was hilarious. As always, I accepted the challenge. And he's saying, I accept the challenge, but it's just so distorted and funny because he's so serious as he says it.
Yeah, this show.
Mike has me back, and now we have these lights on us, and I know the audience can't see it, but these things are really bright. They're right in your face. And the first thing that comes to mind as he's trying to find the lighting is not only am I dying, going to see the Lord, I'm seeing the light, stay away from the light, but I feel like Paulie Walnuts in The Sopranos, where he's got the tin up there trying to get a 10. That's exactly what I feel like I should have that.
Okay, I can get some tin foil for you.
I feel like I should have that, but it's very close quarters. That's why I'm trying to bond with Mike. Maybe that's what this should be called, bonding with Mike. Yeah. But anyway, go back to your answer. It was a very young age. I can't exactly pinpoint it, but we would watch all those old shows, and World War II shows they would have on, and you'd try to mimic them.
Sergeant Schultz.
I see nothing. Nothing.
I know nothing.
Yeah. But even the Russian girl, it didn't matter the gender. You said,
Yeah.
oh, Hogan, darling, Hogan. You would try to imitate them all. But they were just, we watched The Great Escape and all that stuff, and the English guys.
Can you stay in character?
It depends on what you're talking about, May. What character we talking?
Let's pretend you wanted to stay in that English character.
Right.
Can you do 5 minutes in this interview in the English character?
I said, off we
Yeah,
go,
wait,
straight
yeah.
off, straight off.
So if we were going to drive in a car, what? A car, yes. A lorry.
Right, all right, yeah.
Yes.
No coupe.
Maybe
No Lotus. Yeah.
Lotus is much better.
Oh, come on.
Yes. Why is the steering wheel on the wrong side?
You say you don't seem to understand. Us Brits would say the Yanks got it on the wrong side. That's what us Brits would say. The Yanks got it on the wrong side. But then typical Yankee ingenuity, yanking the wrong way. Or wrong with your Wonka.
Yeah. I'm a little confused on that. We'll have to figure that out as we go along.
No, I see what you did there. You went and slowed the voice down.
Slow
You slowed it down just a little bit, right?
Slow it down a little bit. Went into a southern drawl.
Yes, yes, you did very much. Yeah. All right,
I learned how to do that 'cause I worked all over the country 3 or 4 years. And I found that talk like the people I was calling on, I closed more business. And it was interesting because people buy from people like themselves. So when I was working in places like Houston or Dallas, I had to slow down, get a little bit more cowboy in my talk.
I've seen, I'm not lying here. I'm not lying. And I'm telling you this as straight as it can be, mate. I've actually heard politicians doing the very same thing, trying to sell a message.
Yes,
Whatever audience they're in front of, they're going to talk just like it.
they tried it.
And they're absolutely honest. And some people figure it out. And they're like, oh, piss off, mate. Piss off. Bullocks don't need it. Don't want it. That's what they do.
I guess they,
Listen, Michael, this is really like deer in the headlights here, yeah? I'm serious. I think I'll be blind by the time I get out of here. Really, it's...
you need a pair of sunglasses.
I need something.
Let's take a short break here and listen to first clip that you brought with you. You remember the name of that clip?
I believe that was Village Bullies, yeah.
Village Bullies.
Village Bullies. People treated me when I got down here. What they wanted me to do.
What were they trying? Tricking you, you said?
No, they treated me.
Oh, it's the English guy.
I said treating.
Treat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it 5 minutes up already? Oh, look around. Was it? I don't see no clock. I don't see no one.
Yeah,
All right.
the only clock we got is on the screen.
I want them to
here.
tie my head. Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually behind our backs.
I got this light, right? And hey,
Yeah.
made him like fried right here.
This is LED light.
As
So
well.
it is not as hot as one of them incandescent spotlights.
Mike, I should have put like sunscreen on or something, maybe.
Let's talk a little bit more about this. Village Bullies.
Village Bullies.
You created it because people told you what to do when you got here.
When I got down here, my sister was down here, and God love her, she plays water volleyball, her and her husband, like pretty much all day long. And we had met some other people down here and became friends with them, gone out to eat. But it's like a constant drumbeat. And I can understand it because the Villages has so many things to offer. All the amenities, the clubs, the water volleyball, bocce ball, golf, softball, everything. And so as soon as you get down here, I had just retired like in August of last year. And so I'm down here and these people are like, what are you going to do? You're going to play golf? You do golf? And I'm like, no, you're going to play bocce ball? You're going to play softball? And there's a whole litany of things. And I'm like, I just want to relax. I just retired. Maybe you want to read a book and take a nap every day for about 6, 7 months or a year. It's almost like a cult. What are you going to do? What do you mean? You're not going to play golf. Oh, you'll like it. Well, we'll learn you. And if you're not going to learn me, oh, yes, then, because you're really going to stop. You're going to say, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I looked at it. They weren't bullying. They were being friendly. But to make a joke of it and to make light of it, I made it into like it was a bully thing, because it is. As soon as you get down there, it's like this, what are you doing?
Okay. So let's take a listen to Bill doing all of the voice speaking part in Villages, Bullies.
So, Carl, I see you made the big move to the Villages.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, no more New England nor'easters.
So what are you gonna do now, Carl?
What? What do you mean?
Well, they got pickleball down here. They got softball down here.
They also have cardio drumming. Why do I have to do anything? I just retired. I just want to relax. There's also golf and bocce ball. Don't forget about cardio drumming. Why do I have to do anything? I just want to relax. I just want to enjoy the rest of my life without any cold winters or nor'easters. Why can't I just relax? There's cardio drumming.
Well, it's an interesting clip.
Yeah, that was actually that was my idea for a podcast before I took your class. And your wisdom and knowledge steered me in a different direction, because I was hoping to do like a bunch of different bits. I use my own voice and use music for entertainment. And then once I learned about the nuances and the problems that might be with that, I went in a different direction. So it's really tough when you're starting out, especially doing all the voices and trying to edit and trying to find background music, background sound effects, just trying to put it all together. At first you have an idea and you think, oh, this is going to be great. But you need that IT guy with you. Like you said, $125 an hour, I'll be right there to help you. But when you're on your own, you're just yourself, and you need that guy with you that's, oh, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hit this button over here. Then you're going to download that. You're going to do that. I don't have that. I just have me. And I'm not the brightest, sharpest tool in the shed.
We're going to take a short break and listen to an Alzheimer's tip from Dr. Craig Curtis.
Amyloid is the spark and tau is the fire. We have the spark sparking for 20 years without symptoms. Once the spark causes the fire, the breakdown of tau inside the cell, we start to see symptoms. We are actively researching ways to stop tau as well.
Is it possible to regrow new brain cells to replace the ones tau has killed?
That's a hot topic. Scientists, for the most part, do not believe that we can regenerate brain cells. There have been a few research papers published in the last 4 or 5 years that hint that there might be some brain cell regeneration, specifically in a part of the brain called the hippocampus, which ironically is where Alzheimer's disease starts, but it's really hard to prove that in humans.
With over 20 years of experience studying brain health, Dr. Curtis's goal is to educate the Villages community on how to live a longer, healthier life. To learn more, visit his website, craigcurtismd.com, or call 352-500-5252 to attend a free seminar.
Thank you, Dr. Curtis. Bill, we have another clip that I want you to introduce. That's something you call dog park.
A dog park, yeah. That's something, again, this was supposed
So
to...
you have a dog? What kind of dog is it?
It's a German short-haired pointer. Beautiful dog. She's 10 years old going on 2. And I did not realize, I always had golden retrievers, and this is my first German short-haired, and she's great.
How many pounds?
She's probably 75, and
That's
a
a big
solid
dog.
muscle.
It's a big dog.
Mike, I did not realize how much work these dogs are. One of the last conversations I had with my mother, God bless her, she asked me, Billy, how's your dog doing? And I said, it's like being married to a younger woman. It's a lot of fun, but a lot of work. And of course, she was, God, what do you know about that? But it's so true, because I always had golden retrievers. Golden retrievers are great because they just look at you and it's, God, I love you. I love you so much. You leave the room and it's, you in the kitchen, but I still love you. The German short-haired, and she's we going to take a walk. We take a walk now. I would say, you want to take a walk? And it's like, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do is fine with me, because all I want to do is sit here and love you. But now that German short-haired boy, she's very energetic, even at 10. And but she is very loving. Her name's Pippa.
Yeah. I had a miniature dachshund, 10-pound dog
Okay.
for 12 years, and he was attached to my wife. He had separation anxiety when she wasn't around.
Oh, boy.
And he couldn't be left alone because he would do all kinds of bad things. And he owned the world as far as he was concerned.
Oh, boy. Yeah. See, my daughter lives with us currently right now. She has a schnauzer. He's 5, and he thinks he's the toughest guy in the room. He is that typical short guy with a short person's attitude.
Flex.
Oh my God. We go on for walks and he just, but like Pippa, the German Shorthair, she's got a deep voice when she barks, but she just doesn't bother other dogs. This dog, if he sees another dog, he has to bark at him. He goes nuts, but he doesn't even sound tough when he barks. I mean, he's like, and people are looking over and it's, oh my God, what are they doing?
On dog or something?
Exactly. It's like torturing the poor dog over there. It's crazy because then we used to get home. We had a cat at one time. We'd get home when he would do that. The cat since passed. But we get home after that. And I'm going to show you on a cat where he wouldn't touch me. That's what it sounded like. But he's not very masculine. But that's what it sounds like.
Took the dog out to a dog park here in the village.
Yes, took the dog out to the dog park. And
So which dog park did you take him?
what a
Mulberry.
Mulberry Grove.
Okay.
Yeah, because I live up in that direction. So I go up there in Mulberry Grove. And so just watching the different dogs interact and watch how they get along, it's just, and this bit just came to me. And so I put different voices, obviously, with the dogs. And again, this was my idea for my show before I met Mike. And then
We'll
this
put
is
more
what it
about
sounds
that
like.
after you hear it. So we're going to put the dog park.
We now take you to Paradise Dog Park, located in Orange Blossom Gardens, where several dogs are engaged in a conversation. You know why I like Paradise Dog Park, 'cause all these lady dogs. There's nothing like a queen to make you feel like a pit bull, if you know what I mean. Now I'm gonna go over there and clean myself, and you let me know which one is interested, the pulmonary or the Pekingese. Okay, boss, no problem.
Who's the canine cleaning himself? Oh, that's disgusting.
Hey, there's no cleaning yourself in the dog park. The dog park is for exchanging pleasantries and barking. That's it.
So, Bill, that was the dog park.
The dog park, yeah.
Now, we heard the announcer. Then we heard a bunch of dogs talking.
Yeah, they were all dogs. Actually, every voice you hear in that clip, just a comedy bit, is my voice, but there's just supposed to be dogs. Because you look at, that's the beauty of dogs, is that they have so many individual personalities. And just dogs in general, like I was talking before the clip, whether it's golden retriever or a German shorthair. You literally can have a bit where somebody's walking by kennels of different dogs trying to decide which one to get. And as they're walking by the Goldens or their Labs, they're so friendly and nice. Oh my God, love me, take me home, I love you. And then you get to the pit bulls and they're like, the fuck you looking at? Huh? What, you want to fuck me? You want to fuck me? You want a piece of this? Right? Yeah. And then you just move on. They're like, I don't know if I want that dog. You get the German Shorthairs or the Greyhounds. The German Shorthairs are like, yes, we're going to go run into the just be mild, and then we're going to have with a pan. But you just move on. Of course, I get to my little schnauzer there who thinks he's a tough guy, you know? You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? Hey, guy. There's just so many different things you can do with dogs.
Yeah.
They're just so much fun. But of course, you don't want the slow ones. You get the slow ones that have been puppy milled, and they're like, maybe me and Lieutenant Dan go walking. They are a lot of fun. I love my dog.
So the puppy mill dogs you don't think are as smart.
They're a little Lieutenant Dan. My mom and dad took me walking. Maybe I'll poop, you know. No, you want to look out.
A little bit of Forrest
A
Gump.
little bit Forrest Gump. That'd be a good name for a dog. Forrest, run, Forrest.
Go for the gum.
You go for the gump. That's right.
Yeah.
But now dogs are almost like a comedy bit that write themselves when you think about it. They really are. You get some.
We had an improv player who had a South African, I don't want to say humpback, but it had a black stripe running up the back. And,
Wow.
and the dog was about 3.5 feet tall off the ground. It was a big dog.
Wow.
The whole back seat of our car.
I bet it did.
Yeah.
You've seen those mastiffs?
Oh, yeah.
Those
I had
dogs
a friend with
are
that.
huge.
But they don't live long.
They might not live long, but they're a little intimidating because you see these mastiffs and you think, okay, a black lab gets a little spunky, might hump your leg.
Yeah.
A mastiff, though, they're going to rape you. They will literally rape you. You're going to be down and you're going to be like, no means no, no means no. And then there's dogs. Yeah, it's just a different.
I got to get you out at the Improv on a Friday night and have you do 3 or 4 different voices.
Maybe, I don't know. Right now, I'm still enjoying. I still got a lot of work to do on this podcast, Mike. Even though it's not done yet.
Yeah.
China.
You got to put at least 4 episodes together.
Yeah. You did say they have 4 episodes.
Things come up and you just don't have the time the very next week guaranteed to get it out. Right now I'm running 4 weeks in advance. And this week I'm recording 3 different podcasts in addition to this one, so that I'm getting closer to 7 weeks out.
Were you going on vacation?
I'm going on vacation, taking 2 cruises this year, so I want to have a big backlog of stuff.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
very good.
We're going up to Quebec, taking a cruise from Quebec to Boston.
Yes, I noticed. You like that?
I got a southern accent.
Yeah,
But one of the first ones I learned to do was the Boston accent, because that was where one of our biggest prospects and turned out to be clients was Wang. Wang Labs. They made first word processing machines. And it really was a Mr. Wang. And he was Chinese, and he had a great Boston accent.
now that would be interesting.
And I was told to speak with a Boston accent.
So you went in there, dropped your R's, just trying to make do good business.
It helped. We got a lot of business from Wang.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we did a lot of business in New England in our first year.
Yeah.
So that was important to get the accent right. Then I got to California, and there was no accent that was right.
I know California. Yeah, and nobody's really from California, which is strange.
We had that saying that you were a California native if you managed to make it for 2 straight years. And we were going on Princess, one of our favorite cruise lines.
Okay.
And it should be fun. But that flexibility in your schedule, and when you're doing a podcast that's released weekly, you got to have 8 episodes in the bag to be able to do it, because when you come back, you ain't going to have time to record a new episode.
No, I got to appreciate that. Yeah, that's definitely got to be.
That's why it's important to be out ahead of the curve in podcasting.
All right.
Yeah, and improv with your faces and the voices, you'd be an instant star.
Hi, I know you're talking about that, James.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
went with it.
Yeah.
If it's an impulse, you go with it.
Right. You and us get one of our players named Norma.
Norma, the one you say likes to laugh a lot.
She likes to laugh, but she does the best faces of anybody in the improv. Okay, she blows an audience away for making a face, giving them a bad look. And she's got a sharp mind, so she comes up with some very funny things to say. And the Monday Night Improv would be a good place for you.
I tell you, that's one of the funniest things I've seen. One of my heroes growing up was Jerry Lewis.
Oh, he was
And,
crazy, man.
Oh, my God. There's a movie he did, and I can't remember the name of the movie. But
Oh, boy. He was very big.
It might have been Bellboy, actually. Now that you say it, might have been Bellboy.
In
But I remember him
France, he was big.
sitting in the kitchen. I think he was on his counter, and the symphony music come up. And as the symphony's playing, he's making expressions with every high and every low.
Yeah.
And it was just, you can even transform that today. You just put on a song. It doesn't matter. It could be a country song. It could be an Alan Jackson song. It could be anything. And you could just do expressions to whenever the bass hits high, the guitar goes in, a trumpet. It's just hilarious because just like Jerry Lewis did it, you can just do it to any song. It's just funny.
Yeah, he was a funny guy. I had the opportunity to see him
Oh, wow.
before he died. He came to the Rotary Convention. I think it was in Barcelona. And he had some kind of disease that they were giving him a lot of steroids.
That's
blew
right.
up like a balloon.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing him on Larry King, I think, where he had that. And he was trying to explain
And-
the steroids. And
Yeah, and he did a little bit live, and he brought it like crazy.
No, he was one of the, I'll get into YouTube and sometimes the comedians, whether it's Jonathan Winters or
There's a guy,
Jerry Lewis, but
he could do the voices.
oh, you could definitely do the voices, and there's plenty to talk about with Jonathan Winters, but to stay on Jerry Lewis, there's a clip of him in the old Colgate Comedy Hour with Dean Martin where Dean plays the ventriloquist and Jerry plays the dummy. And it's just a brilliant skit because they're hungry, starving actors or whatever, and they happen over here when they're going for a gig that they need a ventriloquist, and so they go in there, and it's just hilarious.
Oh, we'll put you into a ventriloquist.
Oh, it was funny.
We had a 2-person team that did the ventriloquist, where the ventriloquist is singing, and the dummy says, "Why don't you have a glass of water?" And then the dummy sings for the other guy. It was funny.
Yeah. You know, then the dummy's seen Jerry Lewis, D. Martin. That's classic. If nobody's seen it, you got to go out there and look that up.
Why don't you tell our listeners, Bill, when you're thinking of getting your comedy podcast offered?
I'm shooting for Christmas of this year. And the reason I'm shooting so far out is that if it's done earlier, hopefully Mike will have me back on to announce it. And it's called Mad Dog Comedy, MADDOG Comedy. And like I said, I'm shooting for Christmas of this year, 2026. And if I get it done earlier, like I said, hopefully Mike will have me back on to announce when the new date would be.
Yeah, and it's ad libs, right?
Yeah, it's going to be all And what it is, it's bits. It's short bits, because I find when I listen to comedy, sometimes they'll go on just too long to where they have a good start, but it's 10 minutes long, don't want to listen to it. This is going to be like 3 to 5 minute bits where they're going to go from one to another. And it's going to be all my voice and all old comedy things. And like I said, once we get closer to it, as I get some of the episodes done and I'm able to send you clips, I can go on and explain more.
If you are continuing in that series, there's a comedy network of podcasts out there. A guy named Billy Merritt operates it out of South Florida.
Okay.
I do it.
Yeah.
But what Billy does for one of the shows, and there are many shows in that series, I've been on a couple of the shows, called Shut Up Gail. He has a script idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And he divides the script idea up into 5 to 16 different players. And each player, wherever they are in the world, records their part. And then it's assembled into a podcast from those individual parts and released as a podcast.
This is not every show. This is just a bit that he does.
There's a show that it's a comedy show that's done like that. They release one a month with others.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I could see. Now, that would be my thing. Now, I've never heard the man. Maybe it could be hilarious, and I wish him the best. But that would be something that I would steer away from, because going in within the first 2-3 minutes, if it's not funny or if it's not for you, you might turn it off.
Yeah.
Where if you know there's another bit right around the corner that's going to be different, you might listen to it. And that's just my thinking on that.
The rule that we used in the Monday Night Improv, an improv scene is 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
If it goes over 3 minutes, it's real dangerous. And we also use that when we're measuring a scene, how good was it? We measure the number of laughs per minute. Any scene that can get more than 2 laughs a minute, that's a show-worthy scene. A scene that's going 3 minutes and hasn't come to a conclusion, we'll let it go to 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But a scene that's dying at 1.5 minutes, director is going to say blackout.
Yeah, no, I can buy into that. And then, but sometimes if it is rough at the first minute, it's better to have a good finish, which would make up for that, because sometimes you do have to set some up. But I get what you're saying.
The setup is important. All of that stuff comes into working in the improv world, that ensemble.
Yeah.
There are no solos. It's not stand-up where it's one guy doing the whole bit. And an improv show will run anywhere from 12, 23 scenes over 90 minutes, depending on which format the show is in. And that gives plenty of time for a great many players to be involved in the show.
Yeah, and I think that's key, though. That's what I'm hoping to do with my voices and with the diversity of the comedy. Like, you might have, one might be a medieval English skit. Another one might be a current prison skit. Another one might be a dog skit.
Yeah.
So the diversity of it is such that, okay, maybe you found this one okay, but not as funny as this one. But because of that diversity, it's worth listening. The hodgepodge of it, it's not just one thing. And going back to the Billy character you talked about, I think something like that definitely could work. Probably has worked, is why he's doing it. I imagine some are like hilarious and other ones just don't click. Now, Benny Hill.
That's a problem.
Yeah, okay. It's a problem, but you're still going to put it on. But how many people are going to listen to it?
I don't know what the listenership is. Billy's got a great comedy background. He came out of, I think, Second City and the Upright Citizens.
Oh, that's a good resume right there.
Yeah, Upright Citizens Brigade out of New York City. And
they got no background in here. I am putting my judgment on that.
Hey.
Just put it on what my thinking is. I'm doing what I'm doing. Maybe I'm going to go stand in the corner now for about 10 minutes. I feel shame.
Don't feel ashamed. Don't stand in the corner. Come back again.
Thanks, Mike.
And I had a great pleasure having you on, Bill.
Thank you. It's been great being on here. Thanks for having me.
Good. You, our listeners, the name of your podcast again.
Mad Dog Comedy. Mad, M-A-D-D-O-G Comedy. C-O-M-E-D-Y. I was almost scared to spell it out like I'd misspell it.
You know, it might have 2 D's in mad or 2 G's in dog.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I can have 2 G's. Yeah.
Take it easy.
All right, thank you.
Remember, our next episode will be released next Friday at 9 a.m. Should you want to become a major supporter of the show or have questions, please contact us at mike@rothvoice.com. This is a shout-out for supporters Tweet Coleman, Ed Williams, Duane Romick, Paul Sorgan, and Dr. Craig Curtis at K2 in the Villages. We will be hearing more from Dr. Curtis with short Alzheimer's tips each week. If you know someone who should be on the show, contact us at mike@rothvoice.com. The way our show grows is with your help. Text your friends about this show if you enjoyed listening. Use the fan mail button on our homepage, villagesvitality.life, to leave comments. Be sure to include your name, email, and phone number. We thank everyone for listening. The content of the show is copyrighted by Roth Voice 2026, all rights reserved.